So, the 25th of August is GCSEs results day. I can only apologise for however you're feeling at the moment. Believe me, everyone's felt the same way you do before. Now, in today's video, it's going to be shorter than my A-level results video because GCSE results day is less important, despite what people tell you, simply because it doesn't decide what university you get into. It might decide the sixth form college you get into, but there's a lot less riding on this, so you can take a deep breath out immediately. This is not as important as A-levels day, which will be a lot more stressful. But there's still going to be some anxiety associated with it. You're still going to have questions, and I'm still going to make a video on it this year. And then it's going to be a really calm video. We're just going to talk through what it's like, any questions that people normally have, and what I recommend you guys do in the run-up to GCSEs results day. If that sounds like a good idea to you, let's get into the video. Now, if you don't know who I am, I'm Akshi. I'm a third-year medical student, so I'm going into my third year in September/October this year, and I'm at Imperial College. And I did my GCSEs in 2018, so that is about 5 years ago, which is a way away. You know, it is far away. It's 4 to 5 years depending on when you're watching this, and it's scary, I know. But if anything, you guys have a normal results day. You might be thinking, well, that's a terrible thing because we had to sit real exams. But over the last 2 years, GCSE results day has been more terrifying, simply because they had no idea on how they were getting graded. In the same way A-level results day for me in 2020 was terrifying, I had no idea what I was going to get because I had no idea what this was going to be based off. Some secret, hidden algorithm that the government had come up with to assign you a random number is not ideal, and it's not the way you want to be rewarded on your 2 years of work. But for you guys, you've had normal exams, you've had a normal results day, you're going to have a normal expectation. So it's going to be good. You're going to have essentially a very standard day. If any problems crop up, they'll be far easier to solve than compared to the last 2 years. And problems will come up. It's not going to be, abnormal. Like normal, every year there are results day problems. But they're going to be resolved far easier. Now, on results day, what do you expect? Well, you're going to get one thing. You're going to get your set of results, whether that's 10 to 11 results. You're going to get them all through. And they'll come through an email, a website in your school, or some other forum. They will come through. After that, you either relax because you've got your results. You typically don't resit unless you failed a subject that you need to get into sixth form. And that's it, really. There's nothing else associated with it. You get your results and you're done. Now, for GCSEs, there are some results that matter more. English language and maths are two of the most important results that you'll get because they are pretty much involved for every single job that you'll come across normally, and most degrees, they are the bare minimum that you need at least to pass on those results. It'll depend on what A-levels you guys are taking. So if you're taking, for example, law, perhaps English might be more important to you, the humanities might be slightly more important than you. If you're doing something like medicine, the sciences will be more important to you, so biology, chemistry, maths, physics not so much, but the sciences will be important to you and you'll need to do well on those. But at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, GCSE results day is a really relaxed results day. And I know that sounds crazy coming out of my mouth, but it is relaxed. If you don't do so well in a subject, it's not important. For example, if you get an A in English literature and you wanted an A star, or if you get a 7 and you wanted a 9, it doesn't matter. As long as you've passed and you've got what you need to get in sixth form, and that's it, to be honest, actually. I was going to say, as long as that's what your university wants, but universities don't really look at GCSEs anymore. Oxford might do, but apart from that, other universities really don't care about GCSEs. So as long as you've done reasonably well, a 7 or above is exceptional for your GCSEs. So pat yourself on the back. If you've got 7s and above, well done. Even a 6 is perfectly fine. It's a good grade. It's more than enough. The baseline you should be going off is, can I get into sixth form with these results? And most likely 95% of people will be going, yes, that's enough. Resitting is definitely something you might want to consider if you fail a subject that you need. And it's again a perfectly normal thing to do. Plenty of people resit GCSEs. It's perfectly normal. And to be honest, it's not going to delay your progression that much. It might delay it maximum 1 year, but apart from that, it's really not going to delay anything. Remarking is also something that I want to talk about. A lot of people go for remarks. I nearly went for a remark in my GCSEs. I think I was like 3 marks off an A star for, it was German or something like that, and I was very close to going to a remark until I realised, let's say I do get the remark back and I get an A star. Is that really going to change anything? Not really. If you're going from an 8 to a 9, or 7 to an 8, or a 7 to a 9, something like that, it's really not going to matter. It honestly, it should be an increase of at least 3 grades. So the only real situation I'd say you should do a remark is if you need that grade to get into sixth form and you're about 3 marks off it, or if there's been an obvious marking error. So you've got like 5% in an exam where you should have got like 95, and you know all your other results are really good. Then there's obviously been a marking error. In that case, you probably will go through a remark and you'll probably get compensated for that as well, because that's an examiner problem. But if it's something like just bumping you 3 extra marks just to get that 9, it really doesn't matter, to be honest. It's the most irrelevant thing that you can do, because it doesn't change anything. As long as you've got the grades to get into sixth form and you've got reasonably good grades, like I said, leave it. It'll just cost you money, just leave it, don't touch it. If you've got an 8 or 7, be happy with it, it's perfectly fine. Now, to those of you who are wondering, what do I need to get in the subjects I'm taking to A-level? I would say a 7 and above in most of the grades that you're taking to A-level is really good, and that's what you need. Unless your school has set something really high, I'm not sure why they would. Obviously you need to follow that, but apart from that, anything from a 6 to a 9 is perfectly good in those grades. You should be aiming for that. If you get a 5, you might want to talk to your tutor about it. You should definitely get in contact with your tutors or your teachers or your school staff if they're around, which they will be. This is going to be an in-person results day as well, which is really helpful because you can go and see people like teachers if you've got any problems. But like I said, most teachers with GCSEs will be really chill about it. They'll probably tell you, look, you've got the grades against sixth form, you can take your A-levels, be happy and just... Now, apart from that, I can't think of anything else there is, because like I said, it's a really simple results day. The last few tips, maybe do some research on the grades that you want to take. Have a backup plan. If it doesn't go to plan, maybe change your A-level. It might be a sign that you should probably do something different. Maybe there's something that you are good at, you've not realised, but your GCSEs have showed you you're quite naturally good at this. And it also doesn't automatically assign you to a degree in university. You're way off that. Just think about what 4 subjects you'd be good at taking in AS or A-levels, whatever. Also, make sure you go to your school. I'd really recommend going into school. Obviously, you don't have to. If you get your results virtually and you would much rather sit at home and just get them and relax, if you've got plans for that day maybe, that's fine. But if you've got no plans and if you're thinking about going to school, I'd recommend going in, because even if you do well, you get to see your friends, you get to get congratulations from teachers, which is really nice. And also, if things do go wrong, you can easily go in and sort them out. And because it's a normal results day, i.e. normal I mean without teacher assessed grades or anything like that, or like the government or like centre assessed grades, it's going to be far easier to sort out any issues than, you know, if it were over the last 2 years. And finally, a quick word about the news that you might be seeing, that GCSE grades are going to be tanking this year. Please ignore that, it's utter BS from the news. What they mean to say is that in comparison to the last 2 years, yes, they're going to go down a lot. That's normal. The last 2 years have been open book kind of exams. So if you still had an increased level of GCSE grades, that would be crazy. How can a cohort doing a closed book exam somehow do better than an open book exam? Now, I'm not saying you guys aren't geniuses, I'm sure you're all really smart, but that is incredibly difficult to do. So don't worry about the news stations scaremongering you, making you worried about this. It's a perfectly normal phenomenon. It will happen. It's already happened at universities. That means it's definitely going to happen at A-levels and GCSEs. Don't worry. Please don't worry. If you do have any other questions about like GCSEs results or like the process of things, do let me know in the comments. You know, I'm not a psychic. I can't predict your grades, but I might be able to help with any other questions. So hopefully you've enjoyed the video. Hopefully it's been a bit of a calmer video to put some of your worries at ease. I hope it's done that. That's what I made this video for. And yeah, I'll be here on comment section the day before GCSE results day. So if you've got any questions, you can let me know directly. Also, my Instagram, say if you want to privately ask me questions, you're more than welcome to. Don't worry, you're all going to smash it. You're going to be fine. You're going to get into sixth form college and you're going to take your A-level. So yeah, don't worry. You'll all do well. And yeah, best of luck.